Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 1 of the Finals. This is it. This is what we've all been waiting for. A Sylas first ban once again. No, it's quite expected, unsurprising. Sylas is quite OP and he has been banned a lot, but this is going to be 13 Noobs Academy facing off against ACP version 2. And honestly, they're looking better than they did in the Winter Invitational. Raelix obviously warmed up on a couple other champions besides his Fizz, and he brought in Kappa Face. It's the battle of the Kappas. Let's us see them in chat. Wraith, how are you feeling about Game 1?
I am very excited about Game 1. All in all, we've had, like, every game we've casted so far has been pretty intense. We did have one complete blowout, but the other ones that we cast were just, they were great to watch. All in all, we have, so this is 13 Noobs versus ACP V2, and I'm excited. Because 13 Noobs has had the macro, but ACP has the individual crazy skill. I mean, Kappa Face getting his Kled, which I hear is a very dangerous champion to put him on. But Squashy's been really strong in the top side as well, so having these two go head-to-head is going to be really interesting. And they gave Raelix his Fizz.
Oh,
not
yes.
Getting banned away. That might be a really bad idea.
Well, it says to Exile that he feels comfortable taking on this Fizz in the mid lane. And Oriana's definitely got some pretty good poke in the early game. However, level 6, Raelix pops off, and he has shown such good abilities on this champion that whenever Raelix plays in our solo games on Thursdays, it's 100% banned against him. It is a bad day when you give this man Fizz if you're on the enemy team. It's a good day if you're on his team because he'll just 1v9, win it for you. You don't have to sweat anything. However, he's going to be able to pick it up for this Game 1. It is a best of 3, so if the side of 13 Noobs Academy is not prepared for this Fizz, they will face his wrath but still get a chance to come back in Game 2. With all the rest of those lock-ins, let's go ahead and roll through the players so we get maximum time to discuss these team compositions. For the side of 13 Noobs Academy, we've got Squashy on the Gnar once again, this time in the top lane. Kapitai, second time, taking the Jarvan into the jungle. Exiled V Shaman with the Oriana, second time as well in the mid lane. Nova Tabula Rasa with the Jinx in the AD carry role, and Hubba Hubba grabbing Morgana for the support.
And for the side of ACP version 2, we've got Kappa Face on Kled in the top lane, Saver Wolf on Sejuani in the jungle, Raelix taking his signature Fizz into the mid lane, Silent Steps mixing it up with Xayah in the bottom lane ADC role, and Slow Gun Maker rounding it out with Karma in the bottom lane supportive role. So, these are some interesting compositions, but I have to say ACP V2 probably got the better end of this draft. Fizz and Kled. I mean, we've heard about Kappa Face's Kled, but we haven't actually seen it. But Raelix Fizz, we have seen before, and there's still, legend has it that there are still children quivering in terror from the last time this champion was played on stream.
Now, to be fair, the side of 13 Noobs Academy has also shown great plays at their first 2 games to get to this point in the finals. They're definitely no slouches either. One of the best things that we complimented them on was their macro, their ability to play the map, get the side lanes pushed in, Squashy being able to balance that difficult job of split pushing but joining for those major objectives. Sometimes they struggled after the 25-minute mark to, when they won a fight, pull off more objectives from that. We saw Game 1, they almost actually had a full comeback against them when things started to go against them. A couple team fights went poorly, but they still secured the game and won it in the end. We'll see if they can manage to do that this time. As something to note, ACP V2, Silent Steps played well last game, but wasn't exactly the most carry for the team. Didn't stand out as a massive superstar. Got the kills, had a couple good Super Mega Death Rockets, but wasn't necessarily the one that you looked at and went, oh my gosh, he's running over the enemy team. It was all on Kappa Face. So there might be some opportunity where Nova has shown some amazing plays in that bottom lane before on the Vayne, now is on the Jinx. Maybe that's a pressure point that 13 Noobs can actually put against ACP, because the likelihood of them winning against this Fizz in the mid lane is almost none.
Yeah, I have to agree, because Jinx being an immobile ADC is going to have a really hard time surviving Rayleig's Fizz. If they can get a decent lead in the bot side. Now, we do have to say Kappa Tai has shown amazing aptitude in the jungle, has been the linchpin of his team in the last 2 games, getting people ahead. And versus Saver Wolf, I would definitely say, just based on what we've seen in the games, Kappa Tai probably has that edge in the jungle. But I would give the edge to Rayleigh in the mid lane over Exiled, as well as Kappa Face. Small edge over Squashy, but that remains to be seen, because Squashy has played really well in the 2 games that we've seen him in, and it's kind of a wash in the bot side. I mean, Jinx outranges Xayah and will have the ability to poke her at length, but you also have the shield from Karma, the acceleration, as well as the extra poke, but Morgana has access to the black shield, so it's kind of a wash as to who plays better, as to who's going to win in the side.
Well, now that's a big point that you gave, was the Morgana Black Shield. When you're looking at the lineup that 13 Noobs Academy has against ACP, and they've got that Morgana, a Sejuani ultimate, you know what? If you have the Black Shield on you and you get hit by that Glacial Prison, doesn't matter, you walk away fine. You get hit by the Fizz ultimate, doesn't matter, you walk away fine. It'll absorb some of Fizz's initial damage, not all of it. So that Black Shield could become absolutely critical. Either way, this is a best of 3. Game number 1 for these finals between 13 Noobs Academy and ACP version 2.0. We'll see what they can do. Maybe ACP goes 2-0 this game. That's what I'm really interested in seeing, because we've only seen ACP play 1 game with the way that these games were broken down for the broadcasting side of things, so we weren't here all night long. We only got to see 1 game that ACP have played, and they looked so strong. XLNC, Team XLNC that they played last game, no slouches, and they kind of got rolled over by Kappa Face in that top lane. See if Kled can maybe manage against Squashy, who performed excellently in his semifinals game as well.
Yep, and all in all, looking to be a fairly normal start. We haven't seen any, insane invades. I guess the best thing that we ever saw.
They knew that Saber Wolf was in the brush, so they got a little chip damage with that flag.
Yeah, but aside from that, nothing interesting really going to happen. So, just on a guess, who do you think's going to win?
If I had to straight up guess, in this particular composition, because Rayleigh has the Fizz, I give it to ACP. The reason why is they've got massive engage with that Kled and Sejuani. Basically, anytime they say, we want to go in, they can go in. But they also have excellent disengage with the Karma Mantra Shield, as well as that Xayah being able to ult herself safely away anytime things are going poorly for them. So you see a J4 trying to make a play with a flag and drag. You say, you know what, we're just not interested in fighting this. Let's speed boost our way out of here. So it allows them to pick and choose their fights very well. And the way we saw them take apart XLNC last game, they won the laning phase and then also won team fights as well through superior positioning. And I think that those things will beat out 13 Noobs' macro play, even though they have excellent macro play, as we've seen, as Exile gets a little bit of electrocute proc in that mid lane.
I haven't gotten a chance to really see ACP's macro. So if they go even, and it just depends on how good ACP's macro is. I can't make that call because we didn't really see anything of really was such a stomp last game that macro was irrelevant. you're expecting, like, macro is like a fine scalpel, but when you have that much of a lead, a club is just as effective. You can just beat them to death with your lead. You don't necessarily need to go in there and surgically remove pieces of their defenses. You just, you drive the train through the front door. But hold on, Squashy, Kappa Face going in onto Squashy, but oh wow, the Black Shield hits, and that's going to be a decent chunk off of Silent Steps. No Black Shield to deal with in the bot side this time, or Spell Shield to deal with in the bot side from Sivir, so going to be a much more effective Morgana this time around, I would say.
And something to note is these junglers are vertically jungling, J4 stealing away the Sejuani's blue, and her doing vice versa as well. So that could change some of their potential pathing as they're clearing away the enemy team's jungle. Rayleigh going in, getting a nice bit of damage. He did take a command attack though, so going to be hurting as well, about half health as he's chugging that corrupting potion. Orianna out of potions in the mid lane, so keep your eyes on her health because that damage is going to stick for a little bit as Kled's making his way from the top lane down towards that mid lane. Going to be joined by Sejuani. We may get a 3-man play in the mid lane. It looks like they're coming from behind. Boar rush flash. They're going to go ahead and stun up Exile for a moment. Keep in mind that Orianna has flash. Can't get to the wall. CC chain and first blood. Kappa Face starting the game off with first blood.
And that's a very scary prospect after what we saw last game, and that wasn't even his comfort pick.
Now, something to know. Oh, go ahead.
So I was going to say, like you were saying, just based on the draft, I would give this over to ACP V2 just because of comfort. And Rayleigh, despite the fact that he decides to take 2 tower shots, well, he's on a ward right now.
J4 could go in, try to get the flag and drag and knock up. The camera's currently situated in the bottom lane, so we assume that there's probably not much action happening. A little bit of a playful trickster gets him away, so he was watching where the enemy team is moving to. Something to note, I want to hear from you guys in the Twitch chat. There's obviously a lot of supporters for both sides. Give me a hashtag 13NA or a hashtag ACP if you support either one of these teams, or you could just hashtag Kappa because these two players are going to be going head to head. But I want to see what teams you guys are supporting in the chat, as we still see in that bottom lane both ADCs just farming away. Jinx leading by a touch, but not doing that much. It's kind of been a slow and steady play in that bottom lane.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you'd expect between these two. Neither of them have like a crazy all-in, and neither of them are really an impressive poke lane either. I mean, Karma does always tend toward poke, but Xayah doesn't really, so there's not a ton of support for that. I mean, Hubba Hubba's taking a little bit of damage from the Karma, but it's really just going to be mostly a farm lane.
An interesting momentary pause there. Double check real quick on our time because I'm not sure about that. 5:36, 5:37, 5:38, 5:39, 5:40, 5:41. No, you're like 4 seconds ahead of me. I'm 5:45, 5:46, 5:47.
Okay, just accelerate.
49. I prefer if you slow it down, but I can speed up a little bit. Mostly because if I speed up and I miss something, it's going to be much worse than you slowing down.
There's nothing happening.
603, 604, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're pretty well synced at this point as J4 is starting up that Mountain Drake. He's dropping low. Should be able to secure it as there's no vision from ACP to catch that one out. So nice early Drake over to 13 noobs as they're going to get a small advantage there. And if they get onto these turret plates, they're going to chunk them down a little bit faster. Kapitai might be in trouble. The ultimate from Fizz is going to miss, though, as the flash was forced out by J4.
Yeah, and something you do have to compliment 13 noobs on, and they are doing very well despite possibly being outlet. Hold on, Rayleigh collapsing in here.
Doing well until now. Yeah, no flash, no opportunity to escape. He'd already used flag and drag as well. Wasn't expecting the invade, and a second kill over to ACP as Squashy in that top lane going to be jumped on by Kappa. The hop away from the Gnar leads into the bear trap on a rope, pulls Squashy back for a little bit of damage. Kappa Face now being slowed on his way out. Squashy trying to get that Mega Gnar. Doesn't get it just yet.
Yeah, so this has been a pretty good job by Squash considering that his lane opponent was gifted first blood in the mid lane. has managed not to get over, like, just smashed or rolled over in that top lane. Kappa's looking like he's going to roam down into the enemy jungle, drop a ward here. And 7 versus 5. So if Kappa gets caught out here, he's going to have a pretty rough go at it.
Oh, a little bit of a farm lead in the bottom lane for Nova. 60 farm to the 49 of Silent Steps. So not leading to too much. Does have a BF sword to the Zaya's pickaxe, but I think that's due to their builds more than anything. Hubba going to be able to walk away from that ultimate from Sejuani as it did not land. Also had the spell shield as well. So that is an engaged tool from Saber Wolf that will be down for a little bit.
Yeah, but that was like a real question mark ult there. I mean, even if he hits it, even if it sticks, I mean, Silent Steps isn't in a position to follow up, and Slow Gunmaker doesn't have the damage to make anything stick onto the enemy support. So, a real waste of resources right there, and as well as showing. Hold on, Kappaface. Raylick is getting hit.
Squashy gonna be ulted, goes over the wall, but it's followed by Raylick, who's gonna be able to secure the kill onto the Gnar, and now Kappatai in trouble. Cataclysm's trying to walk away to get underneath the turret, can't do it, and Raylick comes out with a double kill. This is why you don't give this man Fizz. He is starting the game off 2-0-2.
Yeah, and that's pretty frightening. It was starting out in the mid lane. It wasn't going too bad yet, but here at the 8 minutes, the roams coming through from Raylick's Fizz. Things might be going downhill real fast, Jake.
We'll see how fast downhill they go. Again, keep in mind, it was that macro that 13 News was able to pull off effectively, and you can do that even if you are down. It just has to do with how you're splitting and moving around those neutral objectives and the enemy team turrets. Squashy coming back to that top lane, down about 10 CS, but overall doing all right up against this Gnar. Dark Binding going to be sidestepped by Silent Steps. Nicely done.
Yeah, but the thing is, macro has so much to do with your map control as well as your vision. But if you get to a point where you're so far behind and you have no vision, it's going to be really, really difficult for you to make any kind of map play because you don't know where the enemy team is. Macro is the correct usage of the knowledge you have, but if you don't have any knowledge, it's really difficult to make correct map plays.
Nice flag and drag from Kappatai to get out of harm's way as Sejuani found him lurking around that mid lane. Dark Binding lands onto Karma in the bottom lane. A little bit of damage, but Nova's going to take a nice chunk back as the Mantra Q will hurt this Jinx a bit more. To note, though, this is twice now that the J4 has actually been having to flee fights rather than go in. Hubba trying to make a play, drops the ultimate, flashes the foe, goes gold as well. Super Mega Death Rocket takes down the Xayah, and now Slow Gunmaker going to be in trouble. Gatling gun down bit by bit, flashes away to live for now. Flame Choppers come in to try to stop the Kled immediately in his tracks. He still has charge. No, he does not have charge available. He used it previously in that last fight, so he can't chase in. He's going to flash forward anyway, try to get the bear trap on the rope. Hubba breaks it. Perfect positioning and just really, really good at the max range. Breaks that bear trap on a rope. So the side of ACP lose the fight in the bottom lane.
And they crucially draw out the TP from Kappaface, and that's going to give Squashy the ability to get back into it on the top side. Going to recover some of the farm as well as grab himself a turret plate. That is huge because after being gifted over First Blood, I mean, Squashy was going to have a pretty rough time of it in the top side, but now able to get about a 20 CS lead as well as a good back for himself and a turret plate. That puts him back in the running. Still not totally even, but a lot better. And Saber Wolf and Raylick waiting down here.
Oh, they're going to find Exiled. He tries to flash a nice shockwave onto 2 members, but he's still going to get jumped upon. Stunned up as well. J4's here with a nice Cataclysm. Orianna goes gold to keep herself alive, but the CC comes through for the J4 as well. They found one. Charge comes in from the Kled, but Kappatai flashes the wall. The flash for Saber. He wants this kill. It's going to get at the spell shield. Not going to be enough to save him, and now they can turn it onto Hubba the Morgana, who's going to be stunned up as well. The CC chains from ACP are so beautiful. The flash force out by Nova. Kappa's going to hop over the wall with the blast cone. This Jinx going to be in trouble as the bear trap on a rope going to pull her back in. Rayla goes underneath the turret. It's Kled that steals away the kill, making him 2-0, 3-0 Fizz, 3-0 Sejuani. ACP are rolling this game over.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was expecting to see. These teams or these picks are such comfort. You see, somebody who's comfortable on Kled is a lot less intimidated by towers. That's just it's a lot like people who play a lot of elites. Are a lot. Oh, wow, that was
hold on.
Actually, pretty close.
Infernal Drake is low, but J4 does not go over the wall. All right. Could have maybe tried to steal it away. Go ahead.
Yeah, but a lot less intimidated by towers because he has that jump off the dismount from his lizard, and that's hold on. Silent Step's going to get another turret plate here in a second.
No, he actually, I think, walks away before the plate goes down. The minions did secure it, but no extra gold for the bottom lane of ACP. But you're right. Skarl is one of those ugly and beautiful things, depending on which side of the team you're on, facing or playing, because he can reset the CC, and he can just come back and give you a lot more help. He did get the gold? Oh, very nice.
Yeah. They modified it to where if you did the majority of the damage, it doesn't really matter the remaining to a point. You still get the gold.
Very nice. Kapitai trying to make a play in the bottom lane, but the side of ACP's bottom lane is so pushed back underneath their own turret, he doesn't really get much from it. Now can roam up the river, see if he can make a play somewhere else. At the moment, he's down 10 CS over the Sejuani, who's been impactful so much more. 5 overall KP to the 3 deaths of Kapitai. He's struggling this game.
Yeah, having a difficult time at the moment to really get involved with anything. And getting picked on in his own jungle by Rayleigh in particular. The Goon Squad, Saber Wolf, and Rayleigh just coming in there and owning his jungle. It's definitely not having a fun time of it.
A little bit of a waiting game in the bottom lane. I wanted to start singing the Jeopardy song. Because J4 is still holding tight in that bottom lane. Saberwolf going to come behind, squashing the flash as well. Going to get sunned up. We got to fight in the bottom lane, though, because it looks like the waiting has paid off. They're going to be able to pick off 2 kills. Double, well, 1 for the Morgana, 1 for the Jinx. The Gnar does fall in the top lane, but it's still traded over.
That's a potential for first turret here. I mean, currently in the mid lane, Rayleigh trying to roam down.
Drops the ultimate onto Exile. The Orianna gets popped and dropped and will be falling. Let's see if this push in the bottom lane continues for 13 noobs. They actually back away. You've got a Jinx who can deal a lot of damage to a turret. As they saw the Fizz, though, they're going to try to back away in time. Jinx is going to sacrifice her life, more than likely, to take away that turret. They do get first turret for 13 noobs. Nova will get dropped. And Rayleigh, who's now 5-0-5, might even chase underneath that turret for the Morgana. She's going to black shield herself. She still gets dropped, drops the Dark Binding, but Fizz is already out of the turret range, and Kled gets a trade of turrets from the top side.
Yeah, that's 6-0 on Rayleigh's Fizz, though.
Feels dead, man. Feels dead.
Feels Xeno, man. Now, we're going to have a big fish problem here in just a second, because he's getting more and more items. No, he doesn't even have it yet. Once he gets access to the Lichbane, it's gonna get disgusting. He won't even need to land ultimate to one-shot people, which he basically doesn't need to anyway.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he also ran the Magi Soul Stealer. He's so far ahead that he can pretty much just walk through anyone. He's already got 10 stacks on that Dark Seal, so he is looking pretty good. And the only one that can really maybe handle him, and I've tried this, it's so difficult, is Morgana. And the reason why is because Morgana's Dark Binding is enough CC, especially mid to late game, that you can potentially burst a Fizz down if you can get the Dark Binding on him. That is a very, very big if, because landing that Dark Binding on such a slippery champion like Fizz is nigh on impossible.
Yeah, I mean, Rayleigh's no slouch. He knows what CCs to watch for, when to use the troll pole and when not. I mean, that's the key. That's what separates good Fizzes from bad Fizzes, is when to use that key ability to dodge something rather than just to use it for damage.
All right, so we're getting into that mid-game, 16 minutes into the game. The turret plates are down. It's a turret for each team. The next Drake coming up in about 30 seconds is going to be a second Infernal Drake. Imagine that on the side of Fizz, who's already got that first Infernal Drake. Roof Herald's spawned up in the mid lane to add a little bit of pressure for the side of ACP. Kappaface already on that turret, gonna be hit by the Dark Binding. He's got that Scar, although he's not too concerned. Shockwave pulls them in. Saber Wolf gonna have to walk away. However, those are the front liners that took the most damage from that Shockwave. The turret will fall, and now the Shelly can walk in towards that second tier turret. Nice Dark Binding, though, will stop Shelly from getting a second slam, as she's going to reset on that wave. So only one turret goes down. But ACP gets time to clear away this vision around the Infernal Drake that's already live on the map.
And that's the thing I want to say about ACP. They are doing such a wonderful job at vision control. And no, Jarvan isn't even on this side of the map, so this is going to be another free Drake going over. That's 2 Infernals. And, I mean, going to Rayleigh as well as to Kappaface in the top lane. Just the leads they already have. It's going to be a continual snowball. I mean, I'm just waiting for Rayleigh. Nova's doing a great job on this Jinx. They won several fights down in the bottom side. Hold on, Kappatai just got soloed out.
Oh, that was a sick attempt. He tried to drop the flag, Cataclysm backwards, and then drag himself to the flag to get out. However, the damage from the Kled resetting off of the charge was more than enough to take the J4 down. It looked fancy, you still fell, and at this point, NA Noobs, or 13, sorry, Noobs Academy needs to just delay and delay and delay and hope that this Jinx can have some crazy, crazy late game fight to be able to win. But when they are down 7,000 gold, double Infernals to a 6-0 Fizz, it's looking like it might be a GG go next. As the Sejuani ultimate going to come through, they're going to find some CC onto Nova. They're trying to take down the Jinx. They are successful at that. However, they pulled Kappaface off of the Scarl, but the reset allows him to walk away. And again, they don't get anything, and 13 Noobs continue to fall behind.
And Squashy's about to get squashed. And he's dead.
Damage is insane. Ultimate from Silent Steps as well in that mid lane. I think it might have been to avoid a Dark Binding from the Morgana. But either way, that's going to be down for a little bit. I don't think they're terribly concerned as the siege continues in all 3 lanes. Rayleigh has no mana, though. Keep that in mind as the J4 is going to come down there. Kappaface in the top lane against Exile. The Orianna flashes, but is already gone. And that is going to be a flash down.
Mana.
Now with Rayleigh, no mana. Kappatai can just continue to poke away. He's got the EQ combo to try to get a knock-up flag. The Playful Trickster from the Fizz gets him out for the moment. He does not have flash available yet, but he's not going to worry about hopping over the wall. Nice knockback from the... Actually, I'm not even sure what happened there. Saber Wolf, I think, flashed away. Interesting choice as Kappaface. That mid lane's getting pushed away, so Mega Deathrocker comes in, hits Silent Sense from behind. Squashy is here. No Mega Nard, though, as Kappaface has lots of damage from the side. Kappatai coming in. Can't find a play. Has the Cataclysm coming up. There he is. Going to use it on the Sejuani. Saber Wolf is finally going to fall, but the feathers from the Xayah is going to fly and tear him apart. Karma sniping away the Morgana as well. Mega Nard is live, but Kappaface doesn't care. He says, that's just another target for me to go in. I've got my Scarlet back. Let's charge in. Have a little bit of fun. Jumps onto the Jinx. Bear Trap on a rope, not even necessary. He's going to go legendary. Shockwave from the Orianna takes down the Xayah. So they get one back. Rayleigh is here, and he is on a rampage. Finishing off one. Going to take out Exile as well. And that, ladies and gentlemen, might actually be the end of the game. Kappatai is up in 4. Hubba Hubba as well. So they're just going to grab the inhibitor and back away, but it is an 11,000 gold lead for ACP.
Yeah, this is becoming a storm. I think the best way to win this game is to surrender, and not really, don't surrender, but really rethink draft. Or really rethink your bans. Like, take away Kappaface, Kled, and don't give Rayleigh access to Fizz. I mean, even when you put him off...
Go ahead.
Even when you put him on a champion that he's not comfortable with, he's still a terror. But when you give him comfort, it's just... Well, I mean, you see he's, what, 9-0 now?
Well, right, you're talking about these two and their carry potential. They are absolutely destroying this game. 8-0 for the Kled, 9-0 for the Fizz. They are the ones that are carrying it for ACP at the moment. I'm not saying the rest of the team are any slouches either, but if you take away those champions from the main line of ACP, you stand a better chance. You just can't give people their comfort champions when it comes to these styles of games. Otherwise, they will just style on you.
Exactly. Well said, Jake. But Kapitai running away from the ADC. When the Jarvan is running away from the Xayah, there are problems happening in the game right now. It looks like they're just going to go straight onto the Baron. Kapitai not in the area just yet. He's spotted out on a ward, and the Baron's dropping to half, and this is spotted out, and they are going to
J4 Cataclysm, everyone together, but no one's there for the team to respond. He engaged, but it was so early. The Baron was still sitting at half health, and now they don't have their jungler. They're going to walk in. It's a feast for ACP as they're going to jump onto Squashy, take him out. Hubba goes Golden Shockwave, finds the Kled Super Mega Death Rocket, going to do a little bit more, but Rayleigh is still alive. He's still golden. Saber Wolf actually going to fall as well. So it actually ends up being a 3v2 at the moment, but Rayleigh is still alive with a third of his health. Slow Gunmaker around the corner. Nova really wants in, but the Baron was picked up by ACP during the fight, and now Rayleigh can be sped boost by Karma around the corner. He's going to hop in. He's going to find himself exiled. Nova going to try to chase forward, but she's going to be bursted down. Can't even take down the Karma before falling under Rayleigh's might. That is just disgusting.
Yeah, Rayleigh is now 13-0. When are you going to get the Magi's, dude? You have 10 stacks. Just go ahead. Cash it. We know you have the money. Just do it.
Yeah, he's still sitting on 1,700 gold at the moment as he is out and about looking for a bit more advantage. Gave himself the red buff as well. Looking pretty with all three buffs. Probably going to grab the Ocean Drake before he finally recalls as well.
Yep, and that's going to be... I want to see what he picks up. It has to be the Magi. It has to. Maybe. No? Yes? No, he's... Why?
Went with
Why?
the Oblivion Orb instead.
I
He's
know it's
styling.
safety. Yeah, no, well, styling is Magi. It's actually a really stupid item to buy because you're investing money on the fact that you're never going to die, basically. It gives you unparalleled damage, but only if you play perfectly. It's the ultimate styling item. It's like, you can't kill me, and I'm betting, like, my lead that you can't kill me is basically what that item says.
Kled did go down in that last fight around Baron, so that bounty gold did go over to someone. Not exactly sure who it was. Might have been the Orianna with that shockwave that was able to get it. But when you're looking at everywhere across the map, it's CC leads for all, or sorry, CS leads for all of the ACP members. They've gotten 3 of the 4 Drakes so far, 2 of them being Infernals. Way Dark Binding lands as well as the Zap onto the Fizz. He's going to go golden to avoid the Shockwave. Playful Trickster away from the Flag and Drag from J4. Squashy around the corner. Dark Binding's going to land again. They might be able to finally take him down. They do! And the shutdown gold goes on to Gnar. That's actually slightly tragic.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have that on somebody else. But at the same time, they finally killed Rayleigh. And I mean, that's worth it, right? Everybody on the enemy team has 1 death now. It's not going to be a perfect game for anybody.
Now you just have to do it 20 more times, as it's 26-8 in kills. Squashy only at about half for building up his Mega Gnar. Going to lose half his health as well. The Kled looks like he's aiming towards split pushing in the bottom lane. No trajectories on the map, so 13 noobs can defend this top lane quite well. We'll see how this defense continues.
Saber Wolf not quite caught out here, but they really could have forced something there. I mean, they knew that Rayleigh was down, and they can see Kappaface on the bot side. The only weak members are the ones that could be right here. A little trigger shy, though, and for good reason. They've been kind of shell-shocked. But if Nova walks up too far, he's just going to get smashed by Kappaface, who does not care at all about really anybody on the enemy team, so long as he has Skarl up.
J4 looking to make a play, goes in, finds the slow onto Silent Steps, hasn't invested the Cataclysm until just now, but it's only to his own demise. Super Mega Death Rocket drops the Xayah low, she flashes as well, the flash from the Jinx, she's got the rockets to finish off the Xayah, however, Kled's coming charging in, Exiled is low mana and gone, as well as the Jinx. Kled gonna be able to pick those up, Rayleigh is here to party on as well, takes down the back line, the Orianna and the Morgana, chases in, wants it squashy as well, they should be able to secure the Gnar, can't get Mega Gnar before going down, Saber Wolf styling with a little BM underneath the enemy team. Nexus turrets will fall. Oh, actually DC'd. Okay. I'm going to assume that wasn't intentional. And DC.
It was. He left the game at the end last time as BM as well.
Oh.
I've been getting messages about him being a little bit toxic.
Little bit toxic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be ACP that takes the victory in game number 1 versus 13 Noobs Academy. However, these games are not over just yet. It is a best of 3, so 13 Noobs can lick their wounds, think about their bans for game number 2, and decide what they want to do. Any MVPs you want to call out for this game?
Yeah, I think I'm going to give the MVP for 13 Noobs over to Nova. His play on the Jinx was really pretty clean. There's not a ton you can do when the enemy Assassin and the enemy top lane Diver are 9-1 and 16-1 respectively. So really difficult to get involved in team fights as a mobile ADC. Yes, ADC bias. Deal with it, cat. No, but an MVP over to Rayleigh. Yeah, definitely going to be those two, but Kappa Face probably equally deserving of that MVP. Both insane carries, but I think Rayleigh's was more moving around the map. I mean, half of his stuff was on roams as well as just killing people in his own lane.
All right, well, we'll be right back rolling on through these games. We'll be right back with game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Don't go anywhere because we have to see if ACP is just going to roll over 13 Noobs or if they're going to make a stand and try to come back. We'll be right back. Back.